My name is Jennifer Stay, and I am here with some fun Valentine cards I'm going to be working on today. I'm going to cut these apart here. Try using my X-Acto knife to cut them so they cut really nice. We'll see how this works. If you hear beeping in the background, that's my husband attempting to get our printer here in my art studio working. So just ignore the pretty beeping. It almost cut all the way through. I think I was a little light-handed with that cutting there. That was not what I wanted to happen. Anyway, I've had kind of a hard day physically, and I feel like doing some coloring. Need to relax and de-stress, and art is the way I do that. And so I thought, you know, instead of working on the computer or doing something like that, I'm going to go upstairs and go live and do some coloring with all of you. So I had so much fun on Wednesday doing our live event and coloring on these little Valentine cards. So I'm going to do some more coloring on these. So I had Steve print off some more for me, and I had him print them on some different papers so I can show all of you what they look like on different paper. And these are available in my shop, and you can actually get them for free as well by ordering one of my books. Steve, if they order any of my books, they get these for free right now?
Yeah.
Thanks for answering that before. You slipped out. He was about to leave. Oh, he's going to go get... I also have some free coloring pages available right now. So he's trying to get those printed for me, and I don't think our printer up here is behaving. So he's just going to go print it down in our print shop instead. So that's one advantage of having your own print shop, is if your home printer fails, you can always go use your print shop printer, right? So anyway, these are just 4 of them here that come in the set. I had him print some on, this is the color pencil paper, and on the back of them you get the cute little place to write your message to your Valentine. So that's what this card is here. And I also had him print some on the white metallic paper. We had a lot of questions about the white metallic paper, and I wanted to show off how gorgeous this paper is. And I want to do some more coloring on this because this metallic paper is so fun to color with markers. So I thought we'd break out my Sharpie collection and do some coloring on this, and I can teach you some more, or just demonstrate my Sharpie coloring methods. Look how pretty that looks. And then, of course, you can also get them on standard marker paper or the mixed media paper, or you can get them on this pink paper that we brought in special for Valentine's. And it's just so pretty. And when you color on it, they come out so pretty. Look how neat that is. I did this, I wanted it to look like I'd touched it with chocolatey fingers or dipped it in chocolate. So this is all alcohol markers here that did this, and it blends so pretty, and you can get awesome effects with the markers on this metallic paper. So these are the Valentine cards. Like I said, you can either purchase them separate or you can get them free by ordering any of our books right now. So that's kind of cool. I put in the description a couple links. There's a link to our shop where you can learn about these cards and all the fun things we're selling right now. And I put a link to get some free coloring pages if you just want to download some free coloring pages. We have this one that is free. This one's free all year round. We have this one free. It's a really fun, really detailed coloring page. So you can come and get this one. If you're watching this around Valentine's Day, this one's ready for you. If you're watching this any time of the year later on here on my YouTube channel, this one will be there for you to come and download for free. Now, if you happen to be watching around Valentine's 2018, then we have one that's free for limited time right now that you can come and download, and that's this one right here. And it's a really cute Jane Austen quote, "My heart is and always will be yours." And it's a really fun one to color big bold hearts, so you can color it in lots of different ways. And there's lots of background space, so you can play around with background techniques. So those two are free and ready for you to come download right now. So I have lots of stuff, whether you want to purchase or just get free downloads, come to my website and check it out. But right now, I just want to do some coloring and enjoy hanging out with you guys. Looks like we've got some people coming on already. So welcome. I'm going to say hi to a few people. Let's see, we've got Deb and Benjamin. And let's see, Witchleaf and Nana Games and Brenda and Lori and Kim and Denise and Beth, and oh, Kelly's here. Thanks, Kelly. Kelly is one of my, she seems to jump on every time I'm here, and she's, if it's okay, Kelly, would you mind being what are they called again, Steve? Moderator. A moderator again for me? If that's okay, just say yes or whatever. We've got Melvina's here. She says, I was just watching your Facebook. Oh, great. I'm glad you're here. Color My World is here. Just a Dash of Vanilla. She says, I'm sorry you had a bad day. Hope we can help. Oh, you know, when you're chronically ill, you have bad days, and then you have really bad days. And today was worse than normal. But that's okay. I'm feeling better this evening. I had a nice nap and a good dinner thanks to my husband. He made me dinner, and I'm feeling a little better. So now I can finish recovering and color with you guys. So it's great. So let's see. I hope you get to chill and color as much as possible. It makes for a good mood. Best wishes from London, Witchleaf says. It's 1:55 a.m. Oh, wow. Well, thanks for saying hi. Let's see. Kelly says she doesn't mind being a moderator. That's good. We'll see. Steve looks like he's going to join us for a bit, so he can help to catch any trolls that might jump in. And I'm going to attempt to cut this in half again here so we can color on this metallic paper. And maybe, Steve, you can say hi to people I missed. And yeah, if we're going to have Steve here, that means he can answer your questions, which is fantastic. Usually when I'm live on YouTube, I'm trying to run the show on my own, which makes for... Ugh. I tried pushing harder that time. Ah, look, it worked better that time. So this is that really cool metallic paper that you can even get an entire coloring book in this metallic paper if you want to. It's so cool. And I think tomorrow, is tomorrow Friday, Steve? If it is Friday tomorrow, that means my long-awaited, I ordered some new markers. I'm not going to tell you what kind they are yet. If tomorrow is Friday, then that means my markers should be arriving tomorrow, and I will hopefully be coming live on again tomorrow to do some coloring with my new markers. I can't wait to show them to you, and maybe we'll do some more coloring with those on this awesome metallic paper. Oh, it says something went wrong. Hopefully it will come back up. If something goes wrong with the feed, I will try to just come back on right away. According to the camera, we're still filming, so hopefully it's okay. Okay, it must just be my iPad here where I'm trying to follow the chat is having a problem. Okay. There. Okay, we got those cut apart so we can start coloring. I wanted to try a little different technique here on this one. Okay, so I'm going to put all the metallic ones together over here. And these are all the ones on the color pencil paper. So these will go together here good. And move this out of the way. Okay, I'm going to keep my workspace clean. Okay, I've got 3 of these Derwent Inktense pencils. I only own 3 of these so far, which I am hoping to get more of these in the future. So they're all purples. I decided to get purple when I ordered them. And I'm going to pick one to work with. I think that first one is a pretty color for this. Yeah, we'll use that one.
Dina says, hi, I'm watching you first time.
Welcome, Dina. That's cool.
Michelle asks, can you draw a picture of your cat like you have of Rose?
Oh, that would be fun. One of these has a cat in it. Let's see if it's one of these. No. Oh, it's this one right here. I drew a cat on this one. It was more of a kitten. But we do need to do a full one of Mishka. We have a grayscale image of Mishka in one of our grayscale coloring books, so you'll have to check that one out. That one turned out really good. So what I'm going to do here is run around the corner, the edges of this card with this Derwent Inktense pencil real quick to get the kind of a background done really quick on this one. And the Inktense pencils are water soluble, so when I hit this with a little water, it'll spread the color out into the page. Should be pretty. I wish I had more of these Inktense pencils, but I don't yet. They're kind of in line for things to purchase. So many art supplies to purchase. I need to get this reloaded so I can see what's going on. There it is. Okay, let's see if it'll load up now. I was going to ask you guys to share this out to anyone you think might enjoy a nice relaxing evening of coloring, or whatever time it is in your area.
Gabrielle says, hi, both of you. Love your tutorials.
Hello.
Thank you so much. First time chat. Love from UK and me.
Welcome from the UK. Oh, I would love to go visit there. I would like to go and visit all over that whole area. Travel all around. I'd like to go spend like maybe 3 months there and just visit the whole region and do all the fun things that are, well, I don't think I could do it all in even in 3 months. But our whole family would love to travel that area. Okay, so we've got some of the Derwent Inktense on there. Now we're going to activate it and get the ink going. And I've got a tiny bit of water in this cute little cup. And I got a little brush here. This is no special brush. This is just a very inexpensive brush. So just use whatever you've got. I've also got water brushes, you know, the kind that fill with water and come out as you squeeze it gently. I could have used those too if I wanted to, but this was handy. So that's what we're using. And I'm just going to activate that ink, and I don't want it to be too perfect. I want this to feel kind of natural and organic the way it comes down here. So I'm going to be big kind of sloppy strokes here. I'm going to try to keep it outside of these hearts though, because I want it to stay in the background, the ink.
Nancy Vessels had mentioned earlier she's not getting the notices. Maybe you want to tell a little bit about how to get the notices there on YouTube?
Okay, on YouTube, when you subscribe to my channel, there will be a little bell there. It's usually, it depends on whether you're looking at your phone or the computer. Usually it's like to the right of the name that when you subscribe to someone, there will be a little bell. And when you click on it, it says set notifications. And that's where you'll set it, and it'll make it so that it will notify you when I've either uploaded a video or I'm live. That's where you set it.
Justine asked, what paper are you using?
This is my color pencil paper from my print shop. I had Steve print these for me down in our print shop so I could do a little coloring here for you with colored pencil first. And then we're going to work on the metallic paper too. I've got the metallic paper handy.
Did you say these are the Derwent Inktense?
Yeah, this is the Derwent Inktense Pencil. I only own 3 of them. And so Easter and Valentine's are going to come out a lot because they're purple. So there's a little cute, fast background. One color of pencil there. I could have done multiple colors and gotten different shades if I wanted, but I just wanted to show you how quick and easy of a background these Derwent Inktense pencils. Pretty much any water-soluble pencil will do the same technique. So if you've got any water-soluble pencil, this will do that technique right there. And I'm going to just clean up the back here so we don't get too much on the back here. And move my water out so I don't spill.
Fiona says, I love that purple color.
Isn't it pretty?
It's 3 a.m. for her.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad you're here then. This is, if you want to order this exact one, it's the mauve or mauve. I don't know how.
Yeah, mauve. Usually.
Mauve.
MAUV.
0740. 0740 of the Derwent Inktense did that color.
Christine said Albrecht Dürer may work too? Question mark?
If it's water soluble, yeah. I know there's lots of brands that have water soluble. Prismacolor makes a water soluble line. Crayola makes a water soluble line. So there's lots of water soluble pencils that will do this exact same thing. You could even break out your watercolor paints and do the same exact thing. So but this just happened to be what I kind of been waiting for Valentine's and Easter to come around so I could pull these back out and use them again. Because like I said, all I own are these 3 Derwent Inktense pencils. So that's what they've been waiting for is this holiday. So I also grabbed a bunch of purples out of my Polychromos, my Faber-Castell Polychromos set. I'm going to grab a few more here. I'm not going to be too precious about this or careful picking my colors. If I wanted to, I could pull from my trios. These are my trios. I think there's a YouTube video here all about my trios, how I set up my trios based on the color wheel. I have trios set up for my Faber-Castell Polychromos, and I have trios set up for my Prismacolors, the Prismacolor Premieres. So you can look for that video here on YouTube that I have on my website. I have all of these pencils numbered so you can get these trios. They're set up in light, mediums, and darks. But I don't feel like breaking up these trios tonight because I don't want to have to deal with remembering which pencil goes in which trio. So in this page of my book, I had some random purples and pinks just tucked back here that didn't fit into my trios. So those are the ones I grabbed for, just so I don't have to think about it tonight. And besides, we're just coloring some fun hearts, so it doesn't matter exactly what color we're using tonight.
Insho says your coloring is amazing.
Well, thank you. It's so much fun.
Michelle says, hey, swatching colors to color Valentine's Day here.
Oh, fun.
And FemWin says, hey, watching from the hospital with pneumonia.
Oh, dear. I'm sorry you've got pneumonia. And you're in a boring hospital with nurses jumping in and out and checking on you. So this is a good thing to do. Oh, okay. I'm just sharpening these up a tiny bit. I'm using my brass bullet pencil sharpener here, and I love this little pencil sharpener. Okay, there.
Althea wanted me to ask you a question. If you plan on DIY any type like your gel pen clutch and art sketch kit?
Oh, I haven't done any of those lately. We've been working so hard on the print shop and getting all of that up and going that I haven't been thinking about that. Plus, I've been working so hard on getting my art studio set up, which I think I'm ready now to film the art studio tour. There's still a few boxes I haven't unpacked, so it's not perfect, but I don't think you guys care that it's not perfect. I think you guys just want to see what the art studio looks like. And I have a whole lot of storage ideas to share with you guys that might help with you in your own situations. So I want to do that video right away, and so I think that will help with what you're doing and your... Oh dear, I lost track of my thought while I was coloring here. Anyway, what I'm saying is I've got tons of storage ideas for you and organizing ideas that go along with my art studio tour. So hopefully, as soon as we do this last release with our print shop, I will be able to film that studio tour and we can show that all off. So
Grace's Coloring Corner says, I ordered the Valentine's Day Bliss book. Love your techniques.
Thank you for your support. That means so much. We've been working so hard on getting all these books put together, and we've got this new Valentine book. If you guys are excited about Valentine's, I don't know how many new pages I drew for that book. I'll have to show it to you guys. I've got it here within reach if you want to see it. I'm using...
Gabrielle says, Valentine's is coming. There you are, Steve. Capture her heart with a set of Inktense.
Oh, wow, they're giving you ideas.
That's right.
Usually he gets me chocolate-covered strawberries has become our little tradition for
Linda
Valentine's.
Whitaker's here. She says,
oh, hello, Linda.
What was Jennifer's favorite colored pencil? Love your love card there.
Aw. Was there a question there?
She just asked what was your favorite colored pencil?
I still think I'm a Prismacolor girl. Today we're playing with the Polychromos. I thought it would be fun to switch things up, but you know, the Polychromos are really awesome too. So they are fun to color with. And I did the outer edge. If you just joined us, I did the outer edge with the purple Inktense, this mauve color. So now I'm just using these three colors right here to do this heart. I decided to do the highlight top of the heart with the pink. Make it kind of pop.
Christine says, I love your sharpening videos advice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I still get lots of questions about sharpening pencils because it kind of is a big deal.
And Stephanie says, I'm enjoying my Mandala Bliss book so much.
Oh, good. I know a lot of you have been posting the pictures of your finished mandala pages on our Facebook group, and I have been loving seeing them. I haven't been able to comment on all of them, but I've been watching them, and oh, it just makes me so happy because I drew those quite a long time ago, and it was making me kind of sad that we hadn't got them out into a book yet. And so to see them finally colored and you guys enjoying them is just making my heart so happy.
Brianna says, nothing more relaxing on a Thursday night than a cup of tea and watching some Coloring Bliss.
Aw, what kind of tea are you drinking? I think I need to get into some kind of herbal teas or something. Maybe that would help me be more relaxed in the evenings.
In show asked, can you do more vids on Prismacolors?
Yeah, I need to. I think for a while there, I felt like I was overdoing it with Prismacolor. I'm sort of ignoring all the other awesome pencils. But I feel like now I'm ignoring the Prismacolors too much. So I need to go back and revisit my true loves, the Prismacolors.
Yeah. Well, and Grace's Coloring Corner says I should give you Holbein's.
Oh, yeah. Well,
get some of those.
I've got,
so many good things
I know,
them.
And I've got quite a long list on my, what do you call it? Of my Amazon, wish list. I have such a long list of all these pencil types that I want to get, and that's one of them. They're in there on the wish list. And I need to grab my gel writer pens because I want a little bling now around this cute heart. And it's got to be purplish pinkish bling. So let's see what we can find. That's too pink. Let's come down here. Maybe I'm going to bring up my swatch card. Having a little swatch card is so handy when you're doing this. Then you can find the right. That's pretty dark, but maybe that would be pretty. Maybe we'll try dark. We're going to err on the side of dark here. I think that'll be pretty. Okay. And I think we're going to do it with a little bit of glycerin. Getting all the toys out now. That's why I love my studio. I can't wait to show it to you guys. All the toys are just so handy. Okay, bring this brush back. Well, this is the vegetable glycerin that I use with my gel pens. And it doesn't take a lot. Just a tiny drop of that vegetable glycerin goes a long way. Okay. But what I like about using the vegetable glycerin is it makes your gel pens last longer. You use very little ink. So what I'm going to do now is paint the area that I want to hit with the gel pen, which is the border of this heart. And just do part of it. And, oh, I already got it going, yeah. And now when I come in and color, I can get it started and then use the brush to start moving that ink around, and you use so much less ink and you still get the bling and the sparkle, and you use almost no ink. Well, that's not true. You still use ink.
Grace's Coloring Corner says, been really liking the Schriffer Farben pencils.
Ooh.
They have really great laydown. And Christine says, I have chronic pain too and ordered the Prismacolor Premier based on your comments regarding ease of use. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're going to like them. They work really good. They've got such a nice soft core. They are fantastic. I avoided color pencils for such a long time because they just wore me out so fast. But I think color pencils are still one of my favorite coloring medium because of all the different blending and control you have over them. Plus they're such a nice, slow, relaxing coloring medium to work with. There's lots of room for mistakes with color pencils.
Sounds like Kelly also likes the Faber-Castell Polychromos for chronic pain.
Yeah, they're nice and soft too. Yep. Both are really good. The Polychromos here in the US are just a little bit more pricey. So, and they're a little harder to find. Like the Prismacolors, you can usually find them at your local, well, now you can find Prismacolors at Walmart, you know. So they're just a little easier to find here in the US. Not sure about Canada. I think I've asked this before, and I think people have said Prismacolors are easier in Canada to find too. Okay, there is my first heart.
And Cho asked, how long have you been drawing and coloring?
Well, I was going to tell Steve this. I forgot. I was on Facebook this morning, and you know how ever so often they bring up, remember this? You posted this picture 5 years ago. You know how they do that?
Yeah.
So today they did that to me, and it was some of my very first drawings that I had shared on Facebook 5 years ago. So I think it was about 5 years ago when I started really getting into drawing. The reason I started drawing was because I couldn't do my regular hobbies anymore because of all my chronic pain. I couldn't sit at my sewing machine anymore. I couldn't run my crochet hooks anymore. All these things that were so hard. Plus crocheting and sewing, they take so much concentration, and you can't like walk away from those projects for like a long period of time, and you lose your place. You forget what you were doing, you know. So I needed a project I could do in my recliner with my feet up and I started drawing. That's what I found. I was led to it. I believe in God, and I believe that He led me to drawing. I have quite a long story about that. Maybe someday I'll tell you that story, but He led me to it, and I started working feverishly at drawing because that inspired me so much. And I sort of decided this is what I want to do. This is where I'm going to put my passions, and haven't looked back. And it grew and grew, and soon I thought, you know what, these could make really good coloring pages. And so we started sharing that, and we started our website. How long ago now? 3 years ago?
No, it was about 5. I mean, we're going on, it was like 2013, so.
So was it 5 years? So I think I started drawing maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And then the website started 5 years ago, and it just has grown and grown from there. So can you see the sparkle around the heart? So pretty. Okay.
Fiona says, I can't color with polys because they make streaks. Any suggestions for that?
The Polychromos are making streaks. Could be the kind of paper you're using. You might want to vary the kind of pressure you're putting on your pencil. Light pressure is always best with color pencils. You build up light layers. So what I do is usually move my hand back. I mean, not that far. That's ridiculous. But, you know, usually when you hold a pencil, you're down here. But when I'm coloring with a color pencil, unless I'm doing tiny little details, my hand is typically back about this far. And that forces me to do lighter pressure and smaller strokes. I have to control it better, and that gives me better coverage and more even coverage. And if you're using a paper like this color pencil paper that we sell in our print shop, has a bit of texture or tooth, and because it has that texture, it grips and holds on to a dry medium like color pencil, and it works really good. We have other paper like this metallic paper that I want to color on next, and it's super smooth and has just a small amount of texture, and so it's harder to lay down a nice even layer of a dry medium like color pencil. It works better for markers and things. So
looks like as I read down, Grace's Coloring Corner had said some of the same things.
Yeah.
Fiona sounds like she's been using light pressure, but sometimes it still scratches.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's frustrating. Have you watched some of my other videos? You could try using odorless mineral spirits like a Gamsol to try to blend out the pigment. You could try that too. On some of my videos I talk about odorless mineral spirits and would teach you how to do that kind of thing too. So
Deb asked, are my eyes off, or does the glycerin dilute the color a good deal?
it does. It's like adding water to your watercolors. It does dilute the color. So you have to be aware of that. I could go over a second time with another layer if I wanted to. That would be an option. I usually work with that. I can build up shadows now, which you can't usually do very easily with gel pen. But if I wanted to, I'm not going to worry about it on this one, but if I wanted to, if I was coloring like a tree, I could build up shadows on the underside of bushes and leaves and things. And with the glycerin effect, because I can do a more amount of pigment in one area and then use the glycerin to move the pigment out and dilute it, like you said. So the glycerin is really handy. I really think that if I could ever talk to someone who makes, the actual ink, what's inside of it, I would bet, I'm almost 100% sure glycerin is one of the main ingredients inside that ink. So I think that's why glycerin is working so good with it as a pair when I color together with it. So
Kim says, I guess there are many of us dealing with chronic pain. I ordered one of the first books you printed in the new print shop.
Oh,
totally
thank you.
Beautiful book and paper.
Oh, I'm glad you're liking it. That's awesome. And I'm sorry you have chronic pain. It sounded like I was all excited for you to have chronic pain. Yay!
Awesome.
But yes, I think as a community, we tend to come to coloring to help us survive the long nights and the chronic pain. So I do think it's something we go to. So I think I'd like to push pause on this one and move on to one of these cool metallic paper cards here. One of the questions we had on Wednesday was when we color on these with the alcohol markers, will the ink soak through? We've got the cute place on the back where you can write a message, and so if you use alcohol markers on this paper, is the ink going to soak through? So I thought maybe we would color one of these and find out. So let me do that right now. And I thought we'd use Sharpies. I've got other kinds of markers here too though, so if we want to try something else, we can. And remember, you can get these cards with the pink metallic paper. If we've got new people watching right now, you can get it with the pink metallic. Look how gorgeous is that. Oh, so pretty.
Okay. Nisi asked, what is Grayscale? Will you be doing videos about it?
Grayscale is, and yes, I will be doing videos. Do we have one of those coloring books handy right here?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
It's probably that one. Is it that one that you're holding there?
This feels pretty. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. This is our Volume 1 Grayscale Bliss coloring book. And let me see. This is kind of what the pages look like inside. This one was printed on the metallic paper, actually. Isn't that pretty? Ooh. You can get it on any of our papers, though. You don't have to do it on the metallic paper. And what it is it's usually a photograph or some sort of image that has been printed out in grayscale. And then you color it any way you want. You can either color it true to life, like with skin tones and maybe like how the flower would have looked in real life, or you can do more of an abstract coloring. It's up to you how you want to color it. And you follow the dark grays and the light grays as hints to how you would color it. You know, the darker the color, the darker the tone you would color it. And Grayscale's quite popular. This is a book Steve has put together out of his own photography. Steve's quite a photographer. He does a lot of, he's been doing photography for a long time, and then he has added his own artistic touch to the images, so they have a real texture to them. When you look at them, you just want to reach out and reach into the picture and touch them. They're really pretty. So I think we have 2 volumes of Steve's photography available to you already, and they're a good mix of flowers and landscapes, and they're really pretty. And then if you want, you can get an additional add-on. I think this one's got it. Yep, in the back you can have kind of like a key to what the images look like in full color, and so you can refer to them and see, you know, what color are those birds, and you can either follow the color they are in real life, or you can color it any color you want. Make him a bluebird if you want instead of a yellow bird, whatever you want to do. But I think the keys are really helpful because, like I was telling Steve, I don't know if I would have guessed that that flower was quite that color, and it really is helpful to see the color palette, and then it kind of takes the guessing out of it, and you get to not worry so much about your color palette. You can just follow the color palette that's right here. Look, there's my kitty. There's Mishka. So that's the grayscale coloring. Look how gorgeous these flowers are. Really fun things to color in here. These are places that our family visits all the time. So lots of fun. Oh, look at those flowers. So gorgeous. Even like this is just fun too. Just having the key is beautiful. So this is the Grayscale Bliss coloring book. Like I said, there's a link in the video description if you want to hop over and see. And right now, if you order any of our coloring books, you get a free set of the Valentine cards, and it's 3 pages or a dozen Valentine cards, and you get to pick which paper you want it on. So you can either have the pink metallic or the white metallic or any of our other standard papers, marker paper, color pencil paper, mixed media paper. You get to pick because we run our own print shop. Woohoo! It's pretty cool. Okay, that was a long answer to what is grayscale. But yeah, I am planning on doing some teaching on how to color grayscale images. So just not in the very near future, but in the future, yes. So I'm going to pull a few of these out. I really jammed these into this jar. Was that our doorbell? Oh, Rose needs to go help with the door. You want to go help? Okay, come on. Oh. Okay, go answer the door. Okay. All right. Rose is my little Maltese dog, and she sits right like 2 feet from this little spot right there. So she has to be with me all the time. We raised her to be my companion dog, so during the long nights of chronic pain, I would have a little friend. So only when it gets really bad, I call and wake up Steve. So she's the one that gets to sit up with me all night long. Let's see. Okay. So we're going to do some love bug coloring here. I'm really being drawn to this light pink. It's a really pretty light pink. Let's see if it looks... Some of these markers are really old. I combined a couple sets. Some of them are like, oh, I don't know, they could be, you know, like 8 years old, 10 years old. I combined them with a newer set that I picked up maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Okay. Oh, Rose is back. It must not be someone too exciting down there, or she would have stayed down there for a little longer. Do you need to get back up in your bed? Let's get you back up in your bed. Right here. Come here. Let's get you in your bed. Oh, big girl. Want to say hi? She doesn't fit under the camera. Okay. So I'm just going to do, these letters are so small right here. I'm not going to try to do any shading or anything in these letters, at least not the majority of it. I'm just going to hit it with the light pink, and then we'll do some fun shading in the big word letters. Okay, and part of this is I want to see if any of this is going to soak through to the back. Is it a party down there? Yep. A teenager party? I can hear him a bit. We might have to close the door. Okay. So far, so good. No soaking through. Okay, but that was just one layer of ink. Okay, now let's pick which one we're going to work with. That one has got a lot of blue in it. Oh. That one might work, but it's quite a jump in color. Will I be able to blend from that to that is the question, Steve. We were talking about Rose being my comfort friend at night when...
Oh, yeah. So nice.
Here. I think we'll attempt... Do I dare just dive in? Yes, just do it, Jennifer. Be brave. I don't think, oh, unless this one would be a better. Let's check. Well, that's even darker, but it might be closer in tone. Now I'm really experimenting. Woo! The smell of Sharpie just hit me. These two might work better together. Okay, we're going to do Love Bug with these two purpley pinky colors. Okay, and this is the darker tone, and I think I want... We'll try to do a gradation from the bottom of the letters darker and gradate to a lighter pink at the top. Let's attempt that. We've got both markers ready here, Steve. Okay, so lay in the bottom, and we're going to flick up that color And then start transitioning in. I love this metallic paper. Look at it go. Oh. Yeah, we're gonna have to close that door. We can hear those teenagers really good.
Okay.
There. Okay, look at that blend. That, ladies and gentlemen, was done with Sharpies. Okay, now what was good about that was, okay, I'm bumbling because that was so exciting. Okay, you guys know Sharpies were not meant to blend and do a really amazing coloring. They're more like color one color and you're done. That's kind of what, when Sharpies were born, that's what they were born for. But because we're coloring on this amazing metallic paper, this metallic paper is making alcohol markers blend like crazy. Look how gorgeous that is. So even our inexpensive Sharpies will blend beautifully on this. It's amazing. So I'm coloring the bottom, the solid dark color, and then sort of flicking up so that there's kind of a rough edge with flicks of ink going up. And then in that flicked area is where I come in with my light pink and start blending in that light pink, mixing those two inks together. And I think it's because of the finish of this paper. It gives us a little bit more time and ability to mix those inks and blend them because they just blend beautifully. Look at that. Oh, it makes me happy.
We're bringing it up even a little higher.
Even
Let's
closer?
see.
I'm really worried it's going to go.
Blurry or not.
Okay, I'll
No, I
try.
was just asking.
I'll try holding it really still, and I'll move it just a tiny bit so we can get it out of the glare. Okay, try again. Okay, so I'll show you the first step. The first step is lay down the dark part and then little flicks up. So that's the first step. Just tiny little flicks up, you know, nothing really fancy. This isn't like really technical here. And then with the light pink, I start sort of scrubbing into those flicked areas, and it just starts mixing and blending so beautifully. And then bring it up to the top of the letter. Really simple. Look at that. It looks like I was using Copics or something. And I'm just using my inexpensive little Sharpies. Flick these up. Okay, and again, just start blending, scrubbing that next ink in. Blend it all the way up to the top. I missed a couple spots. Look how pretty. There's the word love. Oh, it's so pretty. Now I'm feeling more brave that we can try a bigger jump in color. So we're going to do it. We're going to bring back the same pink we used for Your My. Okay, I'm going to put these two together right over here to remember that's what we used. And here's that first pink we used in the Your My. And I'm wondering if we can blend it into this one here. This more, I don't know what color you'd call these. Oh, Sharpie, why can't you put color names on things? All right, this is quite a big color jump. Let's see how we go here. Okay, we're going to start with the darkest color at the bottom of the letter. And then do our little flick lines. Okay, and then start blending. Oh, it's working. It's working, I can tell. It's going to work. Come over here. You want to work with it when it's a little wet, obviously. Although it would be interesting to let it dry and come back and test it. I haven't tried that yet on this paper to see if it would reactivate. That would be an interesting experiment. Right across the top, and we got it. It works. Even with that big of a jump in color. Look at that. Ooh, pretty. I'll come up a little closer. Pretty, pretty. Oh, I love Sharpies.
Yeah, that's really neat.
This metallic paper was definitely one of the really pleasant surprises when we found it. When you found it, Steve.
That's right.
Gotta give credit here.
Yeah, Kelly says that's really nice, and Grace's Coloring Corner says didn't realize you could do that with Sharpies.
I know it. I have an entire YouTube series here on our channel dedicated to Sharpies, all the different cool stuff you can do with Sharpies. And the trick is to find things like this paper that helps Sharpies. I really think there must be something in like the Copics and stuff. I think there must be additives to help the ink blend really good. And I don't think Sharpie ink has those additives. There's obviously something different in a Sharpie ink because they smell so strong. So you know there's different things going on in these inks. But they're harder to blend with, but it's not impossible. And my YouTube series on Sharpies proves that. And then now we've discovered this metallic paper. It's going to make it even easier to color with Sharpies and get pretty blends. Okay, flick, flick, flick. Over here. Flick, flick. Okay, now back to our light pink. Work and scrub and blend. And now this will be when we turn it over and see if it's going to leak through to the other side. Because we've put down quite a bit of ink, especially right here where we're blending.
Alicia had a good question. I don't know if this has been addressed or not, but does the darker pen bleed into the lighter one? It's the main reason I'm scared to blend with any marker.
That's a really good question. It can, but it can clean off really easily. Let's see. Look, the Sharpies don't bleed through to the back.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that paper is so thick.
This is...
That's a, like 285 GSM.
This paper is thicker than our pink paper.
Yeah.
So when we were coloring on the pink paper on Wednesday, this is ink here in the middle, it was having a little bleed through issue. So we were discussing on Wednesday how you either have to just be okay with a little bleed through when you write your message on the back, or just be light-handed with your coloring. But the white metallic seems to not be bleeding through so far. Knock on wood. Because it's not working. It's not bleeding through so far. Okay.
Yeah, you had Charmaine and Daisyville both just were able to join us.
Oh, welcome.
They were asking about the paper, what paper we were using.
Okay, we're using this awesome metallic paper that we have here in our print shop that we have available, and we're printing these cute little Valentine cards on this print paper here. And isn't that gorgeous? It makes the alcohol marker ink, we're just using Sharpie markers right now, it makes those marker ink just glimmer and shine. Now back to your question, who was it that asked about the markers? The light marker and the dark marker?
Oh yeah, I think it was Alicia.
Alicia, that is such a good question. I was worried about that too when I first started coloring. Her question was, if you use two markers like these in conjunction, like I was just doing back and forth, is it going to ruin this marker because you're mixing with a darker marker? And the answer is yes, this ink can get into the tip of this marker, but if it ever does, you can just scribble it off like that and it goes away really fast. In fact, you can use that to your advantage. For instance, I'm going to use the bigger Sharpies because it will show better. Let's use, let's use a couple colors that will show up good. Okay, so here we have a light pink and a dark purple. And you can, I've showed this trick a few times, and I actually show it on the Sharpie series here on my YouTube channel, so go check it out. But you can take and do the tip to tip technique. And the way you do that is basically you're going to transfer the dark purple ink into the tip of this pink marker by going tip to tip. And you want to do it not horizontally but vertically, because gravity is going to help transfer that ink down. I'm going to sort of hold it this way so you can see what I'm doing. But basically you touch tip to tip. The longer you hold the two tips together, the more ink that transfers. I'm going to just hold it for a couple seconds because we don't want to be here forever. And now let me show you if you can see that tip. I don't know if you can see it. In my Sharpie marker series, you can see it better. But that tip, I can see it, is darker with that purple ink. And now when I come down here and start coloring, the purple comes out first, and then it's going to gradiate back to the pink. So you can actually use that as a coloring technique and get really neat gradients on like flower petals and other places. Lettering, you can use it for all kinds of stuff, and it doesn't hurt that tip at all. What you would do is just go and scribble on it and make sure all that purple is gone and you're down to the pink again before you put your cap on and put that marker away. Otherwise you'll get a surprise next time you pull out your pink marker. So it doesn't hurt them at all. You can dive in and use it like that all you want. In fact, if you have water-based markers like Crayolas, these are crazy art, but you know, your good old Crayolas, you can do the same technique, tip to tip, as long as they're water-based. Water-based to water-based is good. Alcohol-based to alcohol-based is good, but never mix them, because that's when you'll ruin your markers. So keep like kind of markers with like kind of markers, and your markers will always work well doing any kind of mixing and blending like that. So it's really cool. It's a really fun technique. In fact, if you've heard of or seen these giant markers, these Chameleon markers, that's how these markers work. They work with the tip-to-tip method. They're just using a colorless blender in this end. They also have, I can't remember what they're called, they're like toppers or something like that, where it's a colored end, and they're just doing this same exact method where it's a color to a color and they touch together, and then you get the gradient colored method. So you can do that exact same thing that this marker is doing with your cheapo Sharpies or your cheapo Crayolas. It's pretty cool. So you're good to color. Dive in, be brave, start coloring, do crazy things, see what happens. In fact, I took a whole bunch of Crayolas with me to a class one time. It was 4th grade class, and I couldn't believe how brave they were, and the things they were doing were amazing. I was so proud of them because they were trying combinations and things that I was too shy and too scared to try, like black to orange and crazy things like that, and they were getting the most amazing blends. So we totally need to be more brave with our coloring. All right, let's see, what else should we try on this cute thing? We've proven that the Sharpies don't bleed through. Maybe we should try a more expensive brand marker and see if it will bleed through. Let's try the Prismacolor markers.
Fee Riley says, "Oh dear, I have the thicker Sharpies. Now after seeing this, I'm going to have to get some of those gorgeous finer ones."
They are really fun. The fine ones are great for the tiny little details, and they have really neat colors. But I've got a few of everything. The big ones are really great for bigger areas. The tiny ones to color, like if I had to color, say, this big heart with one of these tiny ones, you'd be there forever, and you might even get little streaks and stuff. So your big ones are not a waste. They are still useful for big areas like this, and then you would bring out your little skinny one for the lettering is how I use them. So they're still very useful.
Grace's Coloring Corner asked if you have the Statler fine liners.
The Statler fine liners. No, I've got them in black for doing my drawing. I love them in black. I haven't invested in them yet for coloring yet, though. Do you like them? Do you have them? I'd love to hear about them. I've been so tempted many times to buy them, but I haven't dove in and bought them yet. So, okay.
Inshow and Fee are both from Australia.
Oh, cool.
Just letting you know, it's Australia Day today.
Oh, cool. Happy Australia Day. That's cool. What do you guys do for Australia Day? That's really cool. That's
and Fee
cool.
says, good point. That just helps me justify another purchase. Thanks.
You're welcome. Oh, supplies are never wasted, man. I can help you justify anything. Just tell me what you want to justify. Huh, Steve?
That's right. Because you were justifying buying those markers the other day, right?
Yes. Steve's like, you want to buy more markers? Yes, I do, I said. Don't you already have enough? No, I don't.
Yeah, I should know better than to even ask that.
Oh, I love my husband. Poor husband. He didn't have a chance. He didn't have a chance with that conversation. Okay.
And Alicia says, thank you for going over all of that. I'll definitely be able to use markers with more confidence.
Yeah, they are, because they're so permanent, so they feel so unforgiving when you first start using them. They are scary, but once you realize how bold you can be with them, then it's like, all right, just dive in and do it. Don't be so shy.
Candace says there's never enough supplies. I say buy.
I agree. Better to buy supplies.
Debbie says the same thing. Never could have enough markers.
I agree. Oh, that's
Fee
funny.
says, happy wife, happy life, Steve. That's what my Fee says.
Oh, I told Steve as soon as I've got we're making a little more money, I'll start spoiling him with lots of camera gear and stuff like that.
My hobbies are a lot.
Yeah, his hobbies are way expensive. That's the problem. He needs $10,000 when I just need like $50 to $100. Oh dear.
Grace's Coloring Corner says, I want to justify Carbothello pastel pencils.
Oh, I think I've heard that name before. I haven't bought any pastel pencils yet, and I've had my eye on them too. You'll have to tell us how you like them. Oh, okay, I had this gorgeous purple in my Prismacolor marker set, and I don't have a good light purple. I only have 24 of these little markers, but I do have a colorless blender. So what I did was I wanted to color the bellies of these, or the underside of the shell of the ladybug love bug purple. And so I thought it'd be cute to have it dark purple and then fade to a lighter purple, but I didn't have a good light purple. So instead what I did was grab my colorless blender and pulled that ink out and did a gradient using my colorless blender color. And I think it worked pretty good. You can kind of see a little bit of a place where it didn't blend as nice as I wanted it to, but it's not too bad. I'll try to do better on this one. That was my first try, so we'll try to do better here.
Kim says, I keep dropping hints for Polychromos. Haven't even tried for Holbeins.
Oh, Polychromos are awesome.
Aunt Nisi says, Statler fine liners are great. They get into small spaces and you can do what the other markers do, only better.
Oh, cool. That's good to know.
And Candace just splurged on a full set of the Albrecht or watercolor pencils.
Oh, cool. Watercolor. We haven't done much with those on our channel yet here on YouTube. We need to do more.
Kelly asked, do you like the Chameleon pens?
I think, are you talking about the Chameleon markers? That should be my first question. If you're talking about these big boys.
No, she said pens. I wonder if they have some kind of...
Well, it's hard because a lot of companies call markers pens and pens markers. I think it might be a country thing. Are these the ones you're talking about? As soon as I know if this is what you're talking about, I can give you my opinion on those. Okay, I think I did a better job blending his purple belly this time. So that looks a little better. That time I did better flicks. So when I went to blend it with the colorless blender, it came out easier. But I did make a tiny where the purple got out of it. So I'm going to try to fix that.
Looks like Keisha, Lacey, and B. Jones are all saying hi. They must have just
Hello,
jumped on.
welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting like on our little video here, that helps my channel a lot. And you could even hit share if you want to, if you don't mind.
Debbie says, my first visit with you. Love the laughter and joking you and your husband share.
Oh, we're having fun hanging out up here. It's always fun.
Oh, I see. Kelly says, yes, markers. She
Okay.
says, sorry, we call them pens. She's
Yeah.
from the UK.
Like I said, I think it's a nationality thing. I think some countries call them pens and some call them markers.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've been kind of getting that idea. The Chameleon. The Chameleon marker, I have a couple issues with, I will say right away. One, they're, I think, too expensive. So hopefully someday they'll come down in price. Two, I think they're too big. They're this huge honking thing. So I think they're too big. Three, the cap ends don't stack. They're not the only company that makes a marker that doesn't stack. These don't stack. There's several in my set over here that don't stack. I hate that. And then the idea with them, the way that they do the tip to tip, can be reproduced exactly the same with these two markers, and these two markers are cheaper than buying this one big marker, especially if you get them on sales. So I kind of think they're a little gimmicky, and because they're so big, I just am not a huge fan. Having said that, when I find them on sale, I buy them. I think I have about 24 of them. No. What? Yeah. I have 24 of them now because I think they're fun and neat to play with, but I do think they're a little gimmicky. So I hope they come down in price more because then I'll feel better about them. They just seem overly priced for what you get. And I don't like the feel of them. They just seem really big. So those are my feelings on them. They also seem a little low in pigmentation. Like you get a huge pow of color with markers like these, where the colors seem a little on the light side. So that's my feeling. So they're not bad,
Like
but
you said, they're fun.
Yeah, they're fun.
People love them. So.
They're fun. They're not bad, but I just have a few issues with them, and if I wait for them to go on really good sales and then I buy them. So, but if I'm going to buy something that isn't on a really good sale, I usually buy markers like these instead. So these, or I've bought the entire set of the Bliss Studio markers. These are really neat. They have an awesome brush tip on them and an awesome chisel tip, but these also don't stack. Why do they do that?
Elena says non-stacking markers shouldn't be allowed.
I agree. Well, it really is a problem. The caps roll around, or I lose track of whose cap goes to who, and so yeah. Copic, they stack. If they can figure it out, why can't these other companies figure it out?
Grace's Coloring Corner asked, what do you think of Posca pens? Posca?
Oh, I don't think I have those yet, but I think they're in my Amazon wish list. So I don't have them here yet. So I recently got a set of 24 of these Bliss Illustrator markers. They're really nice. I don't think you can buy the 24 set anymore, though. All they have is the 12 set. So hopefully they'll have the 24s come back out again, because they have a really, look at that beautiful big brush tip. So these are been really nice to play with too. So
Kelly says, Jen, the ones I have a lot of pigment in them, and they say that you aren't meant to color with the top on them.
Yeah, because you can take this thing off. This is the blending chamber right here. You take that off, but then you always have an exposed zone, right? You either have this exposed or you have this always exposed, which always worried me a little bit because then you, anyway, I'm a little confused still. I need to play with them again. I admit it. I need to go back and revisit them. So yeah, but like Steve said, I know a lot of people really love the chameleons. I like the idea. I just haven't fallen in love with them yet. So, but like I said, I still buy them, so there must be something there if I keep buying them. So.
And she says you're meant to keep the little tops on.
The little tops. So you just leave this like this? Like that? Okay. Maybe I need to read the instructions again. That's what's funny too, is they came with this big booklet of instructions. That was funny.
Gabrielle says, what a fantastic way to spend a sleepless night at 3 a.m. in the UK. Art tutorial and can hear the sea rolling on the beach in the cold and wind.
Oh, that does sound wonderful. Okay, did the purple of that come through?
And Kelly said yes.
Oh, like I was doing it. Okay, very
and
good.
Anna was saying that she bought a whole set of chameleons, haven't used because I don't know how.
Yeah.
And she says, when you do work with the chameleons, please video it.
Yeah, I will, and we'll play with them together. And there's a learning curve with them. I know that, but that's okay. I don't mind learning new things. I'm all good with learning new things, so it's fun. So we'll do it together. We'll learn together. Okay, let's color some more on this love bug because I want to see if these different kind of inks will soak through this white paper. Let's do something really deep colored like this red. And I think I usually blend it with this poppy red to get the light and the dark. Maybe we'll try the, you know what? Well, we'll do that in a minute. This is a really good one with these big spaces. We could try the chameleon marker on either the bone or the paw or the heart. Those would be some good spaces to try a chameleon marker on. So after we do this love bug one a little bit more, we'll do that. We'll play with the chameleons. Okay, see, doesn't stack. So I have marker caps everywhere. So rude. Okay, let's try doing maybe a flower with the red. I really want to try to get it to, I want to try to get it to bleed through. I want to force it and see if we can lay down enough ink to make it bleed through. And that doesn't seem to be blending out to the light red enough. We'll keep working with it here. Oh, it got really quiet all of a sudden. I wonder if the teenagers all left. Do we have anybody here from Florida? Wondering what the weather's like in Florida today. That's where my eldest son is right now. Okay, let's bring in an even darker red, this brick red.
Kelly says she has a bowl to keep the tops in when they don't stack on top of the pen.
Oh, that's a smart idea. I can't believe I don't have red all over me yet. When I have all these caps off, I end up covered in ink by the end. Luckily, these Blick caps have a nice big flat side, so they don't roll usually, unless I start throwing caps, which I've been known to do in my rush to get the right ink color down in a flurry. Okay, that was a lot of ink we laid in those tiny little areas. So let's see. Make sure I match up the right caps here. Let's see if we have a bleed through. Still no bleed through. Okay, this white paper is amazing. This white metallic. is amazing. I love the pink lettering you did on here, Steve. Really pretty.
Thank you.
Okay, let's try a little coral pink for the back of that flower. Little coral pink. Oh, pretty, pretty. Very nice. Did anybody say they were from Florida?
No. We have Texas and Brooklyn, Northern Virginia. Gabrielle, the one who mentioned the sound of the ocean, says she lives on the bump of the map of UK, East Coast, Norfolk.
Oh,
So
cool.
it sounds like her and Kelly live on the east coast of England.
And I want to go there. Maybe we could go stay with
I
them.
would love to do that. Morticia says it's in Sweden. It's 4 a.m.
Oh, wow.
I've been coloring and listening to an audiobook.
Oh,
and I need a little
fun.
break.
Well, welcome.
We have Amy and Star Patrick, both from Ohio.
Oh, cool. Hey, I recognize that name. I think
Yeah.
she's been here with us since the dawn of our
time.
channel.
Yeah.
There,
Jones,
that turned out cute.
From BC, Canada, Pacific Ocean. Oh, I would love to go up there.
Yeah,
too.
that's
we gotta go to
another
British
area.
Columbia.
Yep. Oh, I want to travel so bad, and I want to visit all of you. I still think having my idea of a traveling art studio and just stopping from place to place and setting up my art studio and having you guys come visit me would just be so fun. Okay. Well, we were going to try the chameleon now and play with the chameleons if I can get it to come forward. I got markers going everywhere, Steve. We got markers everywhere. We got to put a few away here so I can function. Just a few.
Deb says North Dakota, and it was actually above freezing today. I'd rather be in Florida.
I think Florida's been unusually cold, so I think the whole country's sort of in a weird flux right now. So, okay, let's color this heart up here. And I've got this really, let's see, I've got a fuchsia color. This is PK5 fuchsia. Or we could go for more of a red family. I've got all kinds of reds. There must have been a red pack I bought. They come in packs of 4, I believe. The ones I've been buying. And I think this was a red pack I bought. I hope I'm remembering that right, that they come in packs of 4. It looks like that, just judging by the way the colors are set up there. So let's pick a red. And like I said, I've been a little discouraged by the pigmentation of these markers. So let's pick the darkest of the red and play with that one and see how I feel about that one today. So let's do this burgundy red, this really deep red. Okay, so you get 2 ends with the chameleon. You've got your brush tip and you get a bullet tip. I'll show them both to you here. This is a teeny tiny cute little bullet tip, which is so great. I love little tips like this for getting into little details and for doing lettering. So that's a good size. I'd rather have a bullet tip like this than a chisel tip any day. I love a bullet tip. And then on the other side, you get a brush tip. And it's a very different brush tip than other markers. It's quite small. Let me show you compared to a Copic brush tip. So you can see the difference since everybody compares everything to Copics. There's the difference between a Copic brush tip and the Chameleon brush tip. And in their advertising, they say their brush tip is more like a brush, as in like this one's more of a foam kind of brush tip. This is supposed to be more like a brushy brush tip. And the more you use it, the more it's supposed to get loose, sort of like a brush. And when you purchase your sets, you get extra brush tips. So if it gets to the point where you feel like it's not working correctly anymore, you can pop it out and put in the new one. So that is how the chameleon tips work. Whoa. Okay. So this is the color of the burgundy. And it's pretty true to the cap, so that's good. And it is pretty dark, so that's good. Now, on this end here of the Chameleon is the Colorless blender chamber. Has a cute little window so you can see inside, and you see where the tip of the Colorless blending chamber is. And it's basically like when you get a set of markers and you get a Colorless blender marker. That's basically what this is inside of here. So every marker you get comes with its own Colorless blender marker, except you can't really color with it because it's inside here and you can't access it except by doing the tip-to-tip technique. And I don't know, that would be a good question for our person who knows a lot about chameleons. Do they...
It sounds like Kelly and Kim.
Yeah, do you guys know if Chameleon sells a Colorless blender marker, like a standalone marker like this that you can get with their sets? That would be an interesting thing to know. Okay, so what you do is you put this inside this chamber, and you're going to touch this tip of either the brush tip or the bullet tip against that tip inside your Colorless blender chamber. And you're going to get some of this Colorless blending agent that will transfer from your chamber, blah, 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 into the, I'm getting all tongue-tied, onto the tip of your marker, and then you'll be able to color that gradient. The longer you hold the two together, the more of this agent will transfer to the tip of your marker. So you count and you try to remember how long you did it, and so if you need consistent amounts of coverage, you'll know how long you held it. Not coverage, consistent amounts of ink, of gradients. There, consistent gradients. You'll know how long you transferred ink. And of course you want to hold it this direction as you're transferring, because again you were using gravity to help transfer that Colorless blender agent down into the tip. Not this way, but this way. That's important. Okay. Do they agree with me, everything I've said?
I don't know, but Malvina, Malvina, Michelle, Kelly all say, yeah, they do sell a
Oh, good.
Colorless blender.
That's good.
And Terry Lou says they have a fine liner pen too.
Oh, good. I know they're making colored pencils too now that are double-sided. I've got that in my wish list on my Amazon cart too.
Nice.
I've heard a little bit about them, but not a lot. So, all right, are we ready for the magic? Okay, so this slips inside here, and we're going to hold it the correct direction here. And I'm not going to hold it too long because these aren't big areas that we're coloring. So I don't want a ton of gradient to happen here. So here we go. And I wish I could hold it this way so you could see it, but I want to give this marker every proper chance as possible. So I'm looking in the window. I'm watching the two touch. They're touching now just barely. You don't shove it down or anything like that. And I'm going to count to 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I don't know if that was too long or too short. We'll find out.
Kim says there is a refill for the blender also.
Oh, good. Okay, now I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it here in the studio. The tip is now lighter than the rest of the brush tip. So I can see it. It's not a huge difference, so I don't think you can see it. And I'll show you now if I come over here and you start coloring. And this is what you have to practice, is how long do you hold it, and then this back and forth motion. You want to get that a nice consistent flow so you don't get streaks. All of that is what you have to practice with these markers. And you get used to how long you hold it together so you get the right amount of that colorless toner moving down into it. All of that is what you have to practice with these markers. So there you can see the pretty gradient we got. It doesn't start as white. It starts a nice light color and then it goes to the nice deep burgundy. And that is a nice deep tone. I like that a lot. Okay, so let's go for it. And I think let's color the paw with this. I think that would be really cute. And I want the top of the feet to be light, and I want it to go to darker down here where these stippling, I drew the stippling in for you guys. So that's the way I want to color it, and I like the way it gradiated, except I think we're going to need it to be maybe a little less toner, so I'm going to hold it together a little shorter. So again, they're going to go together, but this direction. And I'm going to look in the window, kiss them together, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And hopefully that's going to be the right amount. Here we go. Start at the top and go slowly down. Try to be consistent with my strokes.
Kelly says if you hold it on longer, you will get no color and then move into the color.
Oh, good to know. That makes sense. And it didn't quite go as deep as I wanted, so you can back up a little bit. But then I always get that two-tone type thing going on when I do that. So that was kind of a lot, but I can fix it with my other blender pen. And that's why I wished I knew, but now I do. I wished I had, with my chameleons, a blender marker, because if you make a mistake, a colorless blender marker. If you make a mistake now where you feel like you didn't get the equal blend, you can grab a colorless blender marker and smooth out that one spot that you didn't get exactly right and fix it so it still looks good. And then you just clean off the tip of your colorless blender marker. So we'll use my Blick Studio one to help when I make mistakes, because that's user error. That's the need of practice. Okay, here we go again. I'm going to hold it together shorter amount of time this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try again. Here we go. Coming out pretty light. I'm going to go back and forth here, and hopefully it'll start changing sooner. Come on. Come on, little marker. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. I must be using my Rose voice. She just perked up. Come on. You can do it. Oh, see what's going on. It didn't ever go dark. Okay, back up. Come on.
You need to go. Do you have too much
Well, I held.
colorless in there?
Could be. I held it together even less that
But
time.
maybe it's like accumulated.
Yeah, I'll clean the tip off here. Let's fix it.
Kelly says if you go slower, the color will come out quicker.
If you go slower, it's stuck. Okay, let's clean the tip of this off really good. Make sure we're starting fresh. That's pretty dark and fresh, don't you say? I think we had more colorless blender in there than I thought. All right, let's go again. We are learning. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this time. We are learning.
Yeah, she said slower strokes.
Slower. Okay, here we go. A lot slower. I've got a teacher with me here today, right? And it's just, okay, back up. Come on.
Maybe you'll have to try 3 seconds or 2.
Yeah, I'm going to do some.
Could be just for that small little space, you know.
And that's part of my issue with these is, and maybe our experts with us here can tell me, but so much of our coloring is done in small spaces that I always find myself feeling like, well, where would I use these?
Althea says it doesn't seem to like that paper.
That could be the problem. And I was just wondering that because 3, 4. Because I think it almost seems to be messing with the toner. the ink. Everybody's gone silent as Jennifer attempts to make the chameleons work on the metallic paper.
That may be right. It's the metallic paper that just doesn't like to play well with it.
Yeah, we'll try it on the other paper here in a second. But we at least have to kind of get the toes consistent here. Okay, and fix it a bit with my colorless blender. Clean off the tip. Okay, let's bring in this page here. Oh, maybe not that one. That one. Okay, let's do a heart on here. Clean off the tip really good. Okay. How long, Steve? You tell me.
Oh, you're doing it on different paper?
Yeah, this is the color pencil paper. Let's see if it plays better on here.
Yeah, it'll probably come out. I would guess it's going to come out better on that.
Okay, how long?
5 seconds?
Okay, 5 we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is all Steve's fault if it doesn't work this time. See how I did that, everybody? Sorry.
Someone asked, could alcohol on a Q-tip work as a colorless blender?
Yes, it can. And I think we played with that on the Sharpie.
Oh, that's right.
On our Sharpie playlist here on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. I think my son Rylan was like, Mom, you got to try that. There. Yes, it does much better on this kind of, and we almost didn't get, I think we need longer than 3. That's 5. What did you do? It was 5? Let's try 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's playing much better on this paper than the metallic paper. Much better. Try to get them to blend. Much better.
That's interesting. So,
yep. So let me show you the difference.
Are chameleons
Alcohol based.
alcohol?
Yeah.
So whatever it is, they just don't play well with that.
Yeah. So they must have an additive in it. Like I said, we don't know what's all in all these markers. I know they add things to them, not just, they're not all the same. So that's why we try them all. That's why you guys like watching videos like this, is because I try things and you guys don't have to try them at home and have the fail. This isn't a fail though, it looks fine. Because there are no fails and mistakes in coloring, it's just learning, right, you guys? And we don't mind learning and trying things. So, but we did learn that it doesn't like the metallic paper. So if you have chameleons and that's your plan, I wouldn't get the metallic paper. I would get our marker paper for your Valentine cards. So that would be my recommendation. So that was a fun little experiment. Okay. Is there anything, let's see, I think we've been going for a little over, it's getting kind of late here in Salt Lake. So if there's any last minute questions here, I'm going to start kind of cleaning up my workspace and I can answer any last minute questions while I'm cleaning up. And remind you guys that you can come and get a free set of these Valentine cards. There's 3 pages to them. So 12 total. You get a free set of these when you order a coloring book right now from my print shop. And I even have an entire coloring book dedicated to Valentine's. That's this one right here. So if you're excited about Valentine's and want to do some fun coloring, this book here, we're going to be doing more coloring in this book. Hopefully starting tomorrow if my markers come in. This is that marker paper I was just talking about.
Connie was asking how big of a set you have. I think she's asking about chameleons.
My chameleons, let's see, I've got 6, 12, 18. I've got 20 right now. 20 chameleons. So this is the Valentine coloring book. You can go follow the link that's in the description and it will take you to where you can see every single page that comes in this book. And if you order any of our books right now, you get a free set of the Valentine cards that you can color. They would make awesome teacher gifts or grandkids gifts. There are lots of fun pages. Even a gnome is in there, one of my awesome gnomes. So this book is awesome and fun. Let's see, is there anything? Oh, and I have some free coloring pages that you can just come and download if you're interested. This one is there and ready for you to download as a PDF. So you can come to my website and get this one. And for a limited time, this one is also available and ready to download. If you're a premium member, this one is always there and ready. A premium membership is only $5, and it supports me and my family and our little art business to become a premium member. You can cancel anytime. It's $5 a month, and you get full access to my entire online library of coloring pages. So, but right now, this one is free to everyone. So come and download that one as well. So lots of fun stuff going on my channel. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you know when I'm here online. And hopefully tomorrow I'll be back doing some coloring with my new markers. Hopefully they'll be coming in so you can see them and play with them with me. Hopefully I'll do an unboxing and everything. Here's a few of the other things I've been coloring with these. Get rid of that ugly one. And like I said, you can get the white metallic paper, which so far hasn't bled at all. The alcohol ink hasn't gone through at all. There's the pink metallic paper, or you can get our standard awesome paper. This is the color pencil paper. We got marker paper. We got mixed media paper. We got all kinds of good stuff. So come and check us out. Lots of fun stuff. So, and as always, I am live on Facebook every week on, let's see, Wednesday at 12:30 Mountain Time. So you can join me every week there. So it's pretty cool. Lots of fun. So thanks for joining me. I had a great time. Thanks, Steve, for helping.
You're
That
welcome.
made it go a lot easier having you here to help. Thanks to all my other moderators that were here helping out. I sure appreciate you guys keeping track of all the trolls and keeping everything happy in the chat. Really helps me and makes it so it's much more joyful and relaxing. So you guys are awesome. So you guys have a wonderful evening. I hope all of you have a low pain, low stress, and colorful night. That's my wish for all of you. So have a great time, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow with my new markers. So bye-bye, everyone.
See ya. Bye-bye.